It's time to talk about some big dicks, and where better to start than with one of the biggest chodes of the 20th century, the original Machiavellian bastard himself, Joseph Stalin. We're going to discuss death a lot, and ironically, the best place to start this story is with his own. In March 1953, he had a massive stroke. Wait, hang on a second. Is this script about Daniel Andrews or Stalin? I always get them so confused. So old mate collapses on the floor and he lies there in his own piss for hours. And his guards are outside frozen because under Stalin, you didn't so much as blink without permission. That was a fast track to a bullet in the back of the head. So the most feared man in the Soviet Union is literally rotting on the carpet whilst his inner circle stands outside thinking, if he's just asleep and we barge in, we're next. If this were a movie script, you'd call it heavy-handed satire, but nope. This is how Joseph Stalin actually died. The king of fear, trapped by his own terror state, poetic in the most fucked up way. Now let's rewind. His real name was Yosef Jugasvili, and I'm sure I said that wrong, but he was born poor in the country of Georgia. He had a rough childhood with a drunk dad beating the shit out of everyone, your classic grim origin story. So it made sense that his mum wanted him to be a priest and she sends him away to the seminary. Weirdly, the kid's actually pretty good at it. And you're sitting there thinking, imagine if he just stuck with theology. The world might have dodged a bullet or a million. But nope, he discovers Karl Marx and gets expelled for revolutionary reading. And boom, just like that, he's a full-time Bolshevik. For those playing along at home, the Bolsheviks were a radical Marxist faction trying to overthrow the Russian Empire, but more on those murderous bastards in an upcoming reel. So whilst the fancy intellectuals debated communist theory in cafes, no, not the ones in Fitzroy, the Russian ones from 100 years ago, Stalin was out there doing the dirty work. Before he became one of the most feared dictators in history, he was essentially organizing armed robberies for the Bolsheviks. In 1907, he helped plan the Tiflis bank heist, which netted the revolutionary movement the equivalent of about $40 million in today's money. In other words, before he became the dictator of the Soviet Union, Stalin was basically the Russian version of Al Capone. So he gets arrested a lot and is sent to Siberia multiple times, and like he's channeling Houdini, he manages to escape every single time. Just to emphasize this, I'm talking about actual Siberia, but fuck nowhere and the coldest place on earth. So this catches the attention of Vladimir Lenin, another douchebag that I don't have time to talk about yet, but we will come back to him. Lenin realizes that Stalin's actually pretty useful. The dude has got some grit. So in 1922, he appoints him the general secretary of the party. Sounds boring, right? Like a middle management position. Except it's the most powerful job no one saw coming. He controls the entire bureaucracy, and that, friends, is where we have to end it for today. Be sure to come back tomorrow for part 2 of Joseph Stalin, and if you're keen to join the waitlist for the Big Dick Coloring Book, check the caption below.